All right, Chief, we're in business. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Like we said, like e-meeting, it's going to be
Yeah.
specified, isn't it, on emails now or on text messages. Hey, can we e-meet? And you're like, what the bloody hell? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. That means we're not actually going into the office anymore. We've got to get on a Zoom call. But mate, this is honor and privilege. You do some wild and wacky stuff, and it's cool. It's really cool. Do you want to give us a little introduction?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm living in Austria now, in Innsbruck. So it's a really cool place for running. Myself, I grew up in Greece and a small town in the mountains. My mother is from Germany, my father is from Greece. So I moved after the school to Germany, to the town where my mother is from. And but it was super flat. So after that, I moved to Innsbruck, and now I'm super happy here. And I'm a professional runner for the Adidas Terex team. And I'm running a lot of races in the year, between 30 and 60, 70K. So something in between, not too short, not too long, but 70K are way too long for some people. But I like it. And I started with athletics some years ago. Actually, I started running when I was 5 years old, so quite a long time now. And after that, I started road running, and then because I lived in the mountains, or a group in the mountains, I came to trail running, because the trails were near my home door. So I just go out of the door, and I will had the trails there. So it was easy to start also trail running. And but I really love to be in the mountains and move in the mountains, or hiking, or a bit climbing, maybe scrambling. So everything that's in the mountains makes me happy.
That's absolutely crazy. It's like one of those mountain goats, right? That's running up a dam. You're like, I don't know how that's happening. That's kind of defying gravity, but that's cool. I just want to watch it, and it's that's so cool. Do you only do trail running now?
Yeah.
Wow. 70 Ks. 7 Ks is too much for some people. Never mind, you stick a zero on the end of that. Like it's what is it, 45 Ks for a marathon? 46?
What you mean? So it's 70K, not 70 miles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a marathon is 26 miles, right? So that's
Yeah.
how
Marathon is
many
20.
how
So
many
I don't
Ks is that?
the
40
26,
something. Yeah.
or 42 is a marathon.
Oh,
So
42.
a bit more than a marathon, or almost a double marathon.
That's crazy. You know, I got two major questions kind of always come out to me when I hear people do wacky shit, right? And I'm just like, well, first of all, I'm like, wow, this is cool. All right. Second of all, I'm like, why? Why would you like to do that? And third of all, I'm like, what did you learn or what do you learn whilst doing it? So I got to ask those two questions. Number one, why? Why do you do it? And number two, what do you learn?
I don't know. I like it to move in the mountains, or I love it. And I found it I enjoy every day when I'm out in the mountains, or running, or doing something in the nature. And I enjoy also the long runs in the training. Like, I love it to go like 8 hours out on the trails. And it's just, I don't know, it's fun for me. And it's exhausting, but you learn also about more yourself, and how to have more endurance also in the everyday life, not only in running or like sports. So it teaches you also a lot of life, maybe in the part when you're running. And I don't know, I like it.
No, I completely relate on a much smaller level. You know, I like barbells because usually my set lasts the longest 30 seconds. You know, I do a couple reps and I put it back on the rig and be like, that was difficult. I'm going to sit down now and kind of think about it for a while, you know. But there is something to be said about the long slogs of exercise, right? Whether you're swimming, whether you're running, whether you're walking, cycling, just getting at it continuously, repetitively for a long period of time. You don't have to really think about how you're moving because it just becomes second nature at the end of the day. And then your mind can just wander into this kind of fantasy land. And I always find that I figure out a lot of things. You know, I get it from hiking. I usually on the way up, I hate myself. I'm like, why did I get up early in the morning to do this? I don't like this. This is annoying. I should be in bed. Right. And you get to the top and you see the horizon. You're like, well, first of all, this is beautiful. And then as you start coming back down, you're like, oh, I know the answer that I was looking for now, or this is how I should have responded to a friend or a job, or, you know, and you get a little bit of perspective. And I don't know whether it's just because you and I are a little crazy, or there is something deep innate within the human experience that can only be unlocked through kind of physical turmoil. But yes, I completely understand. Although I don't go out and run 70Ks in the trails. But that's more power to you. You know, maybe I'm doing it wrong.
I know.
So what's the feeding protocol when you're out for 8 hours?
Um, I don't think too many things. I don't know. When I'm running out, it's like a meditation for me.
Mm.
Um, yeah, the first hour I have more thoughts than in the 8th hour, I think. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, clears my mind, and it's like just one step in front of the other. And yeah, it's like meditation more or less for me. Yeah.
Have you ever tried meditating, sat down or stood up, as in at home?
Um, no.
That's bloody difficult, you know. And I can relate to like the first 5 minutes feels like it's been 4 hours. You know, it takes forever. It's like when you put some rice in the microwave, right? That minute is taking all day, you know, and then you get to the end and then time just kind of like trickles on by and you hit that flow state, as we all call it,
Mhm.
right? As artists kind of call it. And I mean, that's how I would look at yourself, as you're an artist, but your canvas is the world, these mountains, and you're the paintbrush, you know. You're just kind of figuring it out and going through these races and these runs and hitting this meditative or this flow state, right? And you're just like, what is going on here? It's kind of a human being transforming through time.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. As in races, it's not super like um yeah, meditating because it's super exhausting all the
Yeah.
time, actually. But also you need to you need to turn off your mind because when you think too much, then the body hurts also, yeah, way more. Um, and yeah, if you turn out the thoughts and the mind, it's you can also don't feel so much pain in your body. And also in the training, of course, I don't go all out every long run I do in the mountains. But and then yeah, it's more like meditation and like yeah, relaxing the body when you're running. Yeah, also the mind and the body. Yeah,
What do you
and it's
eat?
fun, of course.
And it's fun. Crazy. How do you eat during these long runs? So say for example you're out for
Yeah.
8 hours.
Um,
How do you eat during that time?
um, I eat like in the race, I eat most like gels and yeah, bars, like this oat bars and maybe bananas. Yeah. When I'm doing this in training, it's more like yeah, also gels, but more healthy food. More like yeah, also oat bars or bananas or maybe banana bread or like breads with peanut butter, something like this maybe, yeah. But in the race, I try to focus more on things that I digest better, to not have problems like in longer time. Yeah.
Do you have like a specific protocol to go by? Like you have to consume X amount of food on the hour or every 90 minutes, 2 hours, or is it just I'm just gonna go by feel?
Yeah, more, yeah, both, but in a shorter race, I try to eat one gel every 20 minutes. So short races like until 6 hours. Um, and yeah, I try to eat one gel every 20 minutes or a banana or a bar. So it's around 80 grams per hour as carbohydrates. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, so it's a lot of sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
like
not healthy, but in a race, it's yeah, it doesn't matter for me.
yeah, for sure. And people are gonna look at that, right? And be like, that's crazy. You're consuming a hell of a lot of carbohydrates. That's against everything that everybody says. All right. Yeah, cool. But let's compare like lifestyles and also the activity, right? Because if you're going to the gym or sat watching Netflix, that's a little different to a lady running up and down a mountain for 6 hours. That blood sugar is actually going to be used, rather than just like, okay, great, how do I store this for a later date? It's like, no, 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 we don't need to store this. We need to use this now, because
Yeah.
our brain is telling our body to keep going. You're like, shit, okay, I got to figure this out. And that's where the sport science and the sport nutrition comes involved, right? And how things can
Um,
change through that. And it's super cool. My boss, we're back in. No, I was just saying, like the intricacies of the sport science, right, is fascinating, and I think that's where our realm within the massive umbrella of fitness and health in there too, right, is kind of really interesting because the scientists can come out with whatever they come out with, and we need them. They'd be like, "Hey guys, maybe figure this one out in this avenue." We're like, "Oh, this is cool," but everybody under that sport umbrella and that health and fitness umbrella knows that that's purely theoretical. And it's like, no, no, we also need those crazy people, right, to then go out and try it and then report back and be like, well, you've got all the objective data to take bloods and all that, but you now also have the subjective data for the individual athlete, and it's like, oh, my belly was a little weird digesting that, or my times were a little wrong, or I felt a little off, and it's this really weird balance and this harmony, right, between people in a lab doing some crazy shit, which I don't really understand, but that's awesome. And then there's people also just kind of on the dance floor, in the mountains, in the pool, then doing some crazy shit and kind of proving it right or wrong. And you're just like, wow, this is kind of cool, guys.
yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you got
right.
a have you got a favorite race that you've done?
Race?
Yeah, have you done a favorite one?
Mm, maybe the Dolomites run. It's a sky race in Italy. It was really cool because yeah, you run up like to 3,200 meters, I think, on the mountain. Yeah, through really technical terrain and then down again. So it's really cool from the landscapes and everything. And yeah, I don't know, maybe UTMB, it's also, yeah, the most unique place in the world, maybe. it's also cool because of the yeah, there are a lot of like people on the course cheering you, and yeah, the atmosphere is crazy. And yeah, the landscapes are of course really cool in Chamonix. But I don't know. Yeah, it's more like the atmosphere on the course, the landscapes, this combination makes a race for me really, really cool. And yeah, all this experience together makes it, yeah, really cool for me. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of fell running?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever given it a go?
Not really. I did some cross-country races in the past when I was in high school. Um, but it was more or less like flat running on grass or mud, not really fell running.
Mm.
But I don't know. I didn't like it too much. So cross country. I don't know. It was weird to run with spikes on mud, and you felt so slow. And yeah, it's something in between trail running and I don't know, road running. And
Yeah.
it's I don't know. Maybe I need to try it again.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like I'm from the northwest, right? And it's usually done in the Lake District, which is just a little bit further north from where I'm from in Manchester. And you hear about it, right? Especially if you go on like a family holiday camping or something in the lakes, and you hear about these crazy people that wear those tiny shorts and just run
Yeah.
up and down things. You're like, okay, well, tell me more. They're like, no, no, that's kind of it. It's like, oh, there's got to be more about this. No, no, they're just trying to do it as fast as possible. Okay, where's the route? Anywhere. You're like, wait, what? And it literally goes straight up, scrambling back down. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, like stripping everything away. There is no longer any boundaries to this. It's not like, oh, you can only lift it in certain ways, you can only run it in certain ways. There's a lot of rules and restrictions. Like technology's kind of got in the way, and we now have to navigate that. It's like, no, 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 get from A to B and try and do it as fast as possible, and then drink a beer. And it's so
I
cool
think
to hey.
yeah, I think it's kind of fun, I think. I need to try it, I think.
Oh, it's mental. When you see him doing it, you just out for a nice little leisurely walk, hiking. You're like, this is steep, this is fucking me up, and I've got to stop for a little bit of water or something. You see somebody basically in his boxer shorts
Yeah.
sprint past you. You're like, what is going on? Thanks, Jeffrey. And I feel really unfit, but yeah, it's so cool. People out in the mountains. I think there is, throughout time, like people have spoken about words of wisdom, kind of floating around in the mountains, whether it's in the air or whether it's in the mountain itself. Like stories and tales and fables, just kind of in those pieces of land. And I think it's true. Whether it's the hairy fairy stuff and we just kind of moved away from it, or whether we're just trying to create that in our own head, and it's just a bit of rock, a bit of mud and rock that we end up creating a wisdom for ourselves, whatever we need in that time. But I think it is important that everybody kind of goes get a perspective shift and gets out, even on a hill, right? Just go walk up a bloody hill and sit at the top of it, and look out for a while and clear the mind in some sort of meditative way. You don't have to sit there with your thumbs and your fingers and be going you know, get off your bloody phone. Like, you've taken a picture of that same fucking hill every day for the past 2 months. You don't need to take a picture of it today. You can actually just sit there and look at it, and some things are only supposed to be a memory, and that memory is a little bit better upstairs.
Yeah, of course.
What's
Yep.
what's next? What are you doing?
Um, I'm preparing right now for the races this season, and yeah, I had my first race last Saturday. So it was a quite short race with 30K, and now I'm recovering a little bit from that, and yeah, start training next week again. Yeah.
Wow. How did the 30K go?
Good. Yeah, it was nice. It was in Italy in a short like village, and yeah, it was really competitive that one. But yeah, really cool place for running, and it was way warmer than here in Austria from the temperatures. It was almost really spring, and here is something in between still. And yeah, it was cool to run in shorts and tank top again.
Mm, yeah, I bet. How do you recover from something like that?
I tried to do nothing, really nothing after the race, like for 2 or 3 days. And when I'm feeling better and more energized again, I go cycling maybe for 1, 2 hours. Or like today I did a speed hike with run down. So super easy. And when I'm feeling really 100% again, then I start training again. So not before. Yeah. But yeah, it's not a problem for me to do like 2, 3 days, nothing. So just chilling and enjoy the sun or meet with friends or I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. I know a lot of athletes that really struggle with that, right? You know, if they're not in the gym, like, what am I supposed to be doing? I was like, I don't know, be a human. Like, go go enjoy yourself, right? You don't have to suffer 24 hours a day. But that's really cool that you're able to take yourself out of the athlete mindset for at least 2 or 3 days, and be a human
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, it's also good for the mind and also to calm down and like reset the mind and the body from the race, to think about what was good, what was wrong, and to start again from the like not beginning, but it's just to calm down a bit and to be more present about it. Yeah.
Do you ice bath or sauna? Do you do
Uh,
like yoga? Do you stretch?
yeah, I do yoga like maybe I don't know, maybe 2, 3 times a week. I stretch after every run, like 10 minutes, not a lot, but yeah, sauna and ice bathing. Yeah, in the winter I do sauna more, and in the summer more ice bathing. Yeah. I also have a river here near my home door,
Mm.
and every run in the summer when it's like 30 degrees, I jump in, and yeah, after that I'm almost recovered again.
Especially that mineral water in the mountains, right?
Yeah. And it's super, super cold.
Yeah, flowing water from up there. That's gonna freeze you to your bones. You're gonna be in there 30 seconds and be like, fuck this, I'm out.
10 seconds.
Okay. Super, super cool, you know? No, but I think I'm playing around with a lot of recovery protocols, right? And then I'm trying to relate it to a 30, 40, 50, 60, 70K run. You're like, that is taking a lot of pounding, plantar fascia, Achilles, um, calves, that's taking a lot of pounding, knees. So it's like, how do you take the inflammation out of yourself to then go again, maybe 3, 4 days later?
Mhm. I think the best you can do is to listen to your body. If you have some pain, like in the training period, I do, for example, like 2, 3 days resting, really resting, doing nothing, and after that, the most like injuries are gone.
Mm,
They're not real injuries, more like a bit pain there, bit pain there. But yeah, the last time I had something more seriously was like 2 years before. I had for 2 months Achilles pain, and yeah, that was not super nice. Not running or doing sports for 2 months, it was like, yeah, terrible. But yeah, after that I didn't have anything. So I don't know why. But I think the best you can do is to listen to your body, to check how the training is, and then to like maybe do a bit less when you feel super tired, and then I think it's okay for you don't have problems with injuries, etc. Yeah.
I think you've had a beautiful training run essentially from running at such an early age, right? You've had that slow accumulation of volume and intensity over time. It's not just like me, for example, be like, yeah, okay, let's now try and run through the mountains and let's try and do it in 2 years. You're like, okay, bro, like good luck, mate. It's like, no, 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 this is essentially your life, and you've accumulated a hell of a lot of volume throughout your entire body. And I think people need to be able to take that lesson away. You know, we need to learn from one another, but learn to not compare and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, well, you're doing that, and I can do the same thing. You're like, maybe, we
Yeah.
can get the same result, maybe, but the way we get there has got to be slightly different. It's the same thing as like I can go in and squat with a barbell every day. That's kind of my thing. I don't, but I could, and my knees, my back would feel great. And other people would break and snap in two. I was like, yeah, like it's just an accumulative poundage over time. Like people have been doing it for years, all their life. That's okay. Same with cyclists, same with swimmers. If I try to swim every day, I think, well, I'd get bored, looking at the black line for X amount of hours a day. But your shoulders will blow out, We've all got those
Yeah.
little things that slowly over time, especially through those formative years of, pre-puberty, during puberty, of doing these activities, yet the body hardens in specific ways. And I think that is fascinating from somebody who's like a nerd of fitness, right?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
ourselves.
So yeah, I don't compare myself with, I don't know, some marathon runners can do like 250K a week. So when I'm doing this for 1 week, I'm destroyed after that. So yeah, also that. And I think some people like ask me why how's your training, what you're doing in the week, can I do it the same? Yeah, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm me, and yeah, it's not like your body, it's not the same thing. So and yeah, also if someone is super like fit and can do also a lot of sports, but maybe not only running is not also not the best for the body. Yeah, so it's, I think, yeah, the best is to listen to the body and see how it feels when it's running or doing other sports or something. Yeah.
Mm,
And not to compare with someone else, because everybody's like different, and yeah.
100%, and I agree. Boss, I got three questions. What
Mhm.
is the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Um, I don't know. Um, uh, what's the question again? Sorry.
Sorry, what is the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Life of ice.
Advice
Advice, sorry, the connection is not good.
and
We
my
can
weird
come.
accent. It's okay.
Okay. Advice. Maybe to listen to myself more, and yeah, also not to compare with others, or like everyone doing it like with Instagram and everything. Everyone compare with others, and I think that's not a good thing, because you don't listen to yourself, and you're doing things like others are doing, and maybe it's not too good for yourself. And I think yeah I think this one, to be more self-confident, and um I think self-confident is the best part.
I like that a lot. We hear a lot of noise from outside sources, and that's great, but we need to be quite particular the ones that we pay attention to. And that one that we really need to listen to is that little inner voice inside, right? That yourself, essentially. It's like listen to that. You know what's best. Sometimes you need to wait it out. Sometimes you need to jump straight in. Sometimes you need to leave. But just listen to yourself. You know what's best.
Yeah, yeah.
Question two is the
Mhm.
opposite of that. What is the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
Um, well, I don't know. I don't listen to bad things from other people.
That's
I
good.
don't
That's good. There's a lesson in that.
know. Yeah,
That's,
I think nothing. I don't know. I can't remember, maybe.
I mean, that must be all that Zen and flow state you've been going in. You just discarded all that bad information. Maybe we should all start running 8 hours in the mountains. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
of
the
course.
secret. All right, last question. What are the 3 words you would tell your younger self?
Mm, 3 words to myself. Um, mm, or maybe 3 quotes, maybe it's
You
better.
you can have that if you want.
um, yeah, do what you love is I think one. Um, you can do it. And maybe I don't know, love yourself, I think. Yeah.
Mm,
And the
mm.
combination of these three, I think, motivates me every day.
Powerful. Thank you so much. This has been an absolute honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, sharing a couple of stories of what you learn when you're running 8 hours deep into a race in the mountains. And we can relate to the emotions that you're going through, right? And we can empathize with one another, even if we don't have to do the same race or do the same thing. We all feel the same emotions, so we can connect that way rather than having to understand the perfect path and go down the same path. It's like we've all got different paths, but we all have the same emotions, so we can relate that way. So thank you for sharing that,
Great, thank you. Thank you very much.
and we'll speak soon. You have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, boss.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.